Starting at the top of your mat, settle into your feet, and we'll shift the weight into one foot as we use an exhale, lifting up the knees. One at a time. Take your time in the beginning, being sure to use that exhale as we waken up the core. Placing your hands on the belly, begin to lift the chest as you relax the hips, tighten through the core, lift the chest, and then lift the hands on an inhale, looking up, reaching up, and then folding yourself forward. Halfway lift, rising up with an inhale, exhale, releasing back down. And as we inhale, we'll roll up through the spine, lifting the hands and stepping the right foot back. Hands to prayer, slide them down. Take a moment, take a breath, find your balance, find your center. Swim the hands forward. We'll bring the top of the hands behind the low back to help open the chest even more. Find the length of your spine and the openness of your heart. Inhale, lift the hands up, and we'll sink down into a low lunge. Again, level the hips, find the balance, swim the hands behind, and open up. One hand at a time, 3 times all together on both sides. Inhaling up, exhaling, swimming the hand behind, fanning the arms behind you, opening up the chest and the shoulders. Use the breath, the lift, and the release. Finding the slight twist as we keep our core tight and loosen up the hips. Using that front leg, allow yourself to slide the hips back, finding your hands on a block or the ground. Take a breath, warming up that hamstring, and then we'll slide forward and open up that hip. The knee can even turn out slightly with the inside of the foot opening. Find your breath. Find the hands in the mat, tuck the back toe, guide yourself to center, roll up into Warrior Two. Back hand slides forward, waves forward as you turn back into your lunge. Guiding the weight into that front foot, maybe a little hop. Keep it as low as you need and guide yourself into a Warrior Three, lifting and pushing through that back heel. The hands come up, that foot rises up into standing splits. Foot drops back down, and we're positioning the feet for pyramid. Begin to guide yourself up the front leg, keeping as much softness in the knees as possible. Find length in your spine and press your feet in opposite directions. Hands become behind the low back, opening the chest, reaching the chest forward. This fold is light and not too intense as it's our first one. Breathe through it and navigate through the hips and feet as you guide yourself back up. Reposition the back foot and the feet in Warrior One position. Open the chest by bringing the hands together and then fold, allowing an even bigger heart opening. Take a deep breath and with a sigh of relief, release the hands down to the mat, stepping the front foot back. As you come into a plank, the knees can drop to the mat to safely lower down on that exhale. Inhale, lift, cobra. Exhale, release. Assisted push-up through the knees, through the core, shifting back into a child's pose. Take a stretch and then soften. Pressing the hands into the mat, begin to roll yourself up, tuck the toes, and lift into your downward facing dog. Taking time here to move, wiggle, find the balance from feet to hands, the softness in the neck, finding your breath. Bringing the feet together, and with an inhale, lifting the right foot. With an exhale, shift that knee forward, coming into a one-legged plank. Inhale, lift the leg back out. And then as you exhale, push the foot all the way through, plant the foot on the floor, bring the hands into center. While adjusting the back foot for that warrior two, we roll up with an inhale, slicing open the arms. Flowing through that back hand, back foot, turn forward into your lunge. Hopping forward, hands to heart. Inhale, lifting up, reaching the hands towards the sky. Exhale, begin to fold, soften, release. Inhale, flat back, lifting halfway. Exhaling, releasing back down. Rolling up the spine, hands lift. And as we exhale, step back with that left foot, hands to heart. Take a moment, take a breath. Inhale, lift the hands up, and as the hands come down, slide down, drop down into your low lunge. Level the hips, swim the hands behind your back, lift the heart, lift the chest. One hand at a time and 3 times total. We inhale, lift, exhale, swoop behind, guiding in a gentle twist as we practice opening up the muscles and the energy of the heart. Bring the hands to that front knee as we slide back, guide back. Hands can come down to the floor or to blocks. Deep breath. And on the next inhale, guide yourself forward to the inside of the leg. That front knee can turn out, the foot can turn out. Notice your ability to drop into, sink into the pose as you release, let go, and breathe. Coming back into center, hands come down, tuck the back toe, and then roll up into the warrior two. Look forward. Guide forward as that back hand, back toe turns, and we're guiding into a warrior three. So the back heel lifts, hands come down as we transition into standing splits, and then the foot comes down for pyramid. Soft knees, and on an inhale, we'll walk the hands up the knee. Center, reposition. Hands behind the hips, lift the chest. And this is the first one on this side, so feel free to not go in as deep. Just breathe. Find the balance. And then inhale up. Bend the knee, and we transition into now warrior one. Pull the hands together, lifting the hands, and extending away from the top of the head. Deep breaths, open the heart. With a big exhale, a sigh, release the hands down. Step back, knees can drop. Lower down, chaturanga, lift the chest, cobra, opening. And then slowly releasing, push through the knees into our child's pose. Softening, releasing, take your time, feel your breath. Feel your hands, press your hands, guide and lift into the toes and up through the hips, downward facing dog. Bring the feet together, lifting through the left heel. Inhale, exhale, pull the knee towards chest. One-legged plank. Inhale, lift the foot back up through the heel. And as you pull through this time, big exhale, plant the foot. Hands come onto the inside, roll yourself up. Warrior two, guiding that back hand forward. We'll slide through into that lunge. Stepping, hopping forward, hands to heart. Standing strong on your feet, inhale, reach up. Exhale, diving, folding. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release back down. And as we inhale up this time, we will exhale, step back through the right foot. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, guide down. Swoop the hands behind you, pressing the top of the hands into the low back. Lift the chest, open up. Swooping one hand round at a time, one hand at a time, 3 times total. Guiding both hands towards that front knee as we shift and slide the hips back. Hands can come down to the floor or down to a block. Find your breath, open up the heart. Just leaning forward, shifting onto the inside of that knee. Again, we can come into lizard, and you can even take a rotation this time if you didn't last time. Bringing the hands back down, and we begin to rotate to middle to roll up into our warrior 2. Slicing open, keep the front knee bent, and then begin to shift back. Just adding a little flow, momentum. Elbow carries you down into an extended side angle. Just find some breath, find some passion in the movement. Rotate the arm, guide yourself back up. Sliding forward into that lunge, hopping into our warrior 3. Hands guide down, and we're lifting into that standing splits through the heel, out through the heel, and then plant that foot into your pyramid. Guiding the hands through a soft knee, up the leg, up the thigh, and then let's bring the hands behind the back. You can interlace the hands or just press the hands into that low back. With an open heart, open collarbone, begin to guide forward. Interlacing the fingers, lift the hands, find length from the top of the head to the tips of the fingers, bend the front knee, transitioning into that warrior 1. Release the hands, hands flow up. Find a strong balance in that front foot as we flow up through that front leg. We'll lift and bring the foot across the thigh. Now you can keep this on the floor if you'd like as well, sitting back into your one-legged chair pose. Push into the heel and then let yourself settle back down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Let's do this again on the other side. Inhale, halfway lift. And then stepping back through the left foot. Dropping down into your low lunge. Hands come behind your back. Press into the low back, lift the chest. One hand at a time, 3 times total on each side. Shifting into that front leg, extending through this runner's lunge, keeping the heart open. And then shifting forward as we come onto the inside of the thigh for lizard. Again, you can softly open, adding a gentle twist. Pressing the hands into the mat, guide yourself into center, rolling up into our warrior 2. Stacking the spine, slicing the arms, and then take that backward flow. Just a breath, add a little passion, a little movement as the elbow comes down and into our side angle. We're turning forward as we take the back hand into the lunge. Stepping, hopping into our warrior 3. Hands guide down like a lever, and that heel lifts up and out and then plants into the floor. To follow into a pyramid, guide up, hands behind the back, and lifting the heart, lifting the chest as if you're bowing over, creasing over the hip. Once we arrive, interlace the fingers, extend out. Keep a softness into the leg. Bend into that front leg, transitioning into warrior one. And then we'll lift the hands up. Again, we're preparing for this one-legged chair. So take your time. Again, that foot could be on the floor still, just crossed. Pushing through that strong foot to lift yourself out and settle back down. Inhale, reach up. Maybe you take a little bit more of a back bend this time, lifting up through the heart, pushing the hands together, and then sliding hands to prayer. Inhale up. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Begin to shift that right foot back. Guiding yourself into that lunge, sliding down into your low lunge. And just one time this time on each hand. So taking a moment just to lift the chest. And as we take one hand back, we'll bring it to the back of the hip. And as we take the other hand back, we'll bring it to the back of the hip as well, pushing the palms of the hands into the back of the hips, and the chest rises even more. Tightening through the core and lifting through the chest at the same time. As we bow forward, we take that runner's lunge. Slide and guide yourself forward into your lizard, hands on the inside of the thigh. Add that twist if you'd like. Maybe even looking behind you to deepen the twist. Hands come down and we're sliding into center, rolling up to slice open into that warrior two, guiding back as we take that wave towards the backside. Let the exhale carry you forward, elbow to knee, and then inhale to lengthen. We'll guide ourselves all the way down, transition that back foot and into your pyramid. Guide up through that leg, use that assistance. Interlace the fingers behind you, opening the heart even more, and begin to bow forward. Of course, take your time, modify as needed. Releasing the hands down, and then stepping back into your plank. Drop the knees, open the heart, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra. Exhale, releasing back down. Pushing through the knees, tighten the core, shift back into your child's pose. Take a moment, take a rest. Feel the weight in the hands, begin to guide up, tuck the toes, lifting into your downward facing dog. Take a moment and then bring the feet together. Lifting the right heel, bringing the knee towards the chest. Exhale, inhale, lift back up. And we'll slide that knee all the way through, shin facing forward for pigeon. Take your time here. You can stay upright as long as you need. And as you're ready, start to melt down towards the ground. Pressing into the ground, lift yourself up, and on the fingertips, begin to lift the chest, opening the heart, baby back bend. Deep breath. Begin to place the hands into the floor, tuck the back toe, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Pedal that out and feel the difference between each leg. Walking the hands towards the feet this time, towards the back of your mat. And begin to roll yourself back up. Stacking the spine. Inhale, lift up. Bring the hands to prayer and prayer to heart. Here we will step into your potential, your higher self as you guide to the front of your mat. Inhale, reaching up, extending up. Exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, begin to lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lifting up, stepping back, left foot, and the knee lowers down into that low lunge. Hands swoop behind. Inhale, lift the chest. And again, one hand at a time, just one hand, bringing that hand back to the hip. Palm into the hip, other hand, palm into the hip, push into the hips, lift the heart, pull the elbows together. Slide the hands around the hips through that knee, forward fold into that runner's lunge, and then guiding the hands forward into your lizard, hands onto the inside. And again, you can take that twist. Take your time. Hands come back down and we're guiding into our warrior two, rolling up, slicing open, extending into that back. Inhale, exhale, that elbow pulls you forward, and then inhale, lengthen. Turning towards the front, adjusting that back toe as you step into your pyramid pose. Guiding the hands up the thigh, up the leg, hands come behind the low back. Placing the hands on the low back or interlacing the fingers, opening the heart, folding forward. Press the feet into opposite directions. Center the hips. Feel the extension of the fingers and allow that extension to release. Hands come down, stepping back into your plank. Knees drop for support, lower down, exhale. Inhale, lifting into cobra, feeling that extension, that back bend, and then exhale, transition back into your child's pose. Pressing the hands into the mat, rolling up through that core, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, we bring the feet together, lifting the left heel this time, bring the knee towards chest. Exhale, inhale, extend out through that heel, pulling the knee forward, shin forward for pigeon on this side. Take your time, and you can lower down as your body requests. Pressing the hands into the ground, lifting up onto fingertips to rise into that chest. Open up, baby back bend. And then releasing the hands firmly into the floor. Remove the leg, extend back into your downward facing dog. Feel the difference. From your downward facing dog, begin to lower down onto the knees, and then we'll transition onto our bottom, swooping the legs around, so that we can then transition onto our back. When resting on your back, keep your feet on the floor and just take a moment as you need it, any movement that your body might be requesting. We'll simply keep one knee bent as one leg extends. Breathe into that. And then transition. The other leg straightens as that other one bends. Guiding both feet in, legs bent, and then opening up into this reclining butterfly position. Tightening the core, begin to draw the knees in, and one knee at a time, pull the right knee in, extend long through the left leg, transitioning into a twist as that right comes over the left. The right arm extends, and breathe into the ribs, breathe into the hip, notice the tension, and practice releasing. Drawing in through the core, the knee comes back in. Give it a little squeeze. Release that foot down. Bringing the left knee in, extend long through the right leg. And then the left knee comes over the right. Extending into a twist as that left arm extends. Find your breath breathing into the ribs. Noticing the tension, releasing the tension, and relaxing. In through the core, pull the knee in, give it a little squeeze, bring both knees in, curling into a little ball, and then the feet release down and we prepare for Savasana. Extending out, allow the toes to roll open, allow the arms to stretch out with the palms open, and start with 3 deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Letting go, releasing, and then begin to notice the top of the head, the forehead, releasing, relaxing, softening the jaw, the neck, feeling the collarbone open as the upper back rests into your mat. Feel the breath expanding into the ribs. Feel the belly rise and fall. Feel the hips relax. Feel the thighs release. And any remaining tension melting out through the fingers and toes. Allowing your edges to fade, blending seamlessly in with the air surrounding you. Open up and expand. Come back to that deep breath, feeling your body resting on your mat as we begin to bring movement into the fingers and toes and slowly draw the knees in, one knee at a time, curling into a little ball, rolling over to your side, and when you're ready, begin to guide up with a heavy head and a strong heart. We'll meet in a seated posture. Preparing for a short meditation, we'll take our Kali Mudra, index fingers extended, other fingers interlaced with right thumb over left. Index finger is pointed at the throat as the elbows soften. Allow yourself to just rest in this meditation, setting an intention to find freedom in your voice, freedom in your expression. Feeling your heart opening and your shoulders soften as your throat, your communication, your ability to listen. The throat chakra opens up. Setting your intention and feeling that energy as if it were already true. Take a deep breath, breathe it in. Begin to release your hands and inhale, reach up. Hands to prayer and prayer to heart. Thank you for joining me today in this practice, honoring your higher self. Namaste.